Warning.
Warning.
Caution.
Warning.
Warning.
This video contains some
The following video contains strong subject.
Viewer discretion is advised.
At what point is it the responsibility of the artist on how their fans interpret their music? If you're explicitly telling them to commit murder, you might think it's pretty hard to defend the artist's right to free speech, but it's never that black and white. Music deals in metaphors, euphemisms, symbolism, and hyperbole. A lot of songs have dark, twisted, even evil lyrics, but the meaning in those lyrics are often intentionally vague. Where is the line between protecting children from harmful messages and outright censorship? In the mid-1980s, a war against heavy metal began. A rise in teen suicides and sexual and violent crimes sent shockwaves through America, and its politicians, well, mostly their wives, were looking for a scapegoat. A committee called the Parents Music Resource Center, or PMRC, took a case to the United States Senate with their hopes in censoring any record they dubbed porn rock by stamping parental advisory labels on them. And so, America watched as another debate over the interpretation of the First Amendment unfolded. Profanity, sex, drugs, alcohol, violence, and yes, even Satanism. When are words a release valve for pain, a vessel for truth, and when are they outright dangerous? In 1985, the PMRC, led by Tipper Gore, the wife of then Senator Al Gore, came out with their list of the Filthy 15. It was a list of 15 songs they found to be the most objectionable and harmful to America's youth. It was to serve as a template for proposed legislation to add warning labels to albums, rating them according to violence, the occult, sex, drugs, and alcohol.
It's education for parents. We want to create mechanisms for choice in the marketplace, not censorship.
On September 19th, 1985, a hearing was held where the PMRC stated their case. On the musicians' side, John Denver, Frank Zappa, and Twisted Sister's Dee Snider were summoned to defend their music and their livelihood.
Now, my view of it, when I heard it, was they want me to carry the flag into battle. Hell yeah. I knew that they viewed me as just another dunderheaded rocker, and they would bring me in, make me look like a fool, and I would help their cause. They did not know that I could construct a sentence.
I would like to use this occasion to speak on a more personal note and show just how unfair the whole concept of lyrical interpretation and judgment can be, and how many times this can amount to little more than character assassination.
Censorship has evolved a lot since the 1980s, and if you want to ensure you can access all restricted websites in your country, you're going to want to use today's video sponsor, NordVPN. Check out nordvpn.com/loudwire or click the link in the description, where you can get a 2-year plan for a special offer right now. If you want to use YouTube in China, for example, NordVPN changes your IP address and redirects your internet traffic for a remote server, letting you browse under the cover of its IP and access blocked websites. Similarly, if you're at home, NordVPN lets you find that one favorite movie of yours that isn't streaming on Netflix in the United States. You can change your computer's IP address to a different country, then it's easy to access that movie via another country where it's actually streaming. It's basically traveling virtually. Right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge special discount at nordvpn.com/loudwire. Through the link, you'll get an additional month totally free. Plus, it's risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. The idea for the Filthy 15 was sparked when Tipper Gore bought a copy of Prince's Purple Rain album for her 11-year-old daughter. She was shocked to overhear the lyrics of a song called Darling Nikki.
I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine.
At what point is it the responsibility of the parents to know what type of music your kids are listening to, or to educate them on how to interpret the music properly? To recap, Tipper bought the Prince record with the lyrics printed right on the album. It was a soundtrack to an R-rated film, and she played it for her children without previewing it beforehand. Instead of taking responsibility for understanding the media her kids would be consuming, Tipper blamed Prince. When it comes to censorship, the interpretation of the message being censored is a major issue. Even the Beatles' Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was banned by the BBC because they thought it was a reference to drugs. For years, John Lennon repeatedly explained that it was actually about a drawing his young son Julian created in school. During the PMRC hearing, Dee Snider was taken to task over the song Under the Blade, accusing the lyrics to be about sadomasochism and bondage, when in fact it was written about the throat operation of Twisted Sister's guitar player.
It's not really a wild leap of the imagination to jump to the conclusion that that's about something other than surgery or hospitals.
No, it's not a wild jump, and I think what I said in one part was that songs allow a person to put their own imagination, experiences, and dreams into the lyrics. Ms. Gore was looking for sadomasochism and bondage, and she found it. Someone looking for surgical references would have found it as well.
Although Dee Snider wrote songs about throat operations and standing up for your rights, the PMRC were also trying to target a growing trend in America during the mid-1980s, Satanism.
God is dead! Satan lives!
Satanic Panic was billowing through middle-class America after a series of murders and suicides kept popping up with satanic clues. Looking to place the blame for how these people could become Satanists, the media raised the question over a seemingly common thread: heavy metal.
The satanic message is clear, both in the album covers and in the lyrics, which are reaching impressionable young minds.
There's no denying that some of the devil-enthralled culprits were metal fans, but issues such as mental health and home life were ignored in favor of sensationalist fear-mongering. If any institution should have been aware of the marketing tactic in heavy metal that shocks sells, it should have been the corporate news media. So when a makeup-clad Gene Simmons is spitting blood, or Ozzy Osbourne is holding a cross, or later Marilyn Manson is wearing fake breasts, it's not hard to see the hypocrisy.
If you're looking for Satanism, first of all, you don't look to rock and roll. A bunch of kids running around playing loud guitars and going like that. That's Halloween.
So who won the battle between the Washington Wives and the big-haired rockers? Although tripped up on live TV for its authoritarian tendencies and ill-considered solutions, the PMRC was successful in getting parental advisory stickers slapped on albums deemed offensive. But ironically, it was the rockers who won the war, as the unintended aftermath was that records with the sticker on them often meant better sales and higher chart positions. Kids wanted what the adults told them they couldn't have. The sticker became a badge of honor. Satanic Panic and the censorship craze died down in the 90s, but it had a lasting impact on the music industry and in American culture in general. Modern music videos by Cardi B or Lil Nas X make a laughingstock out of the outrage over Madonna's Like a Virgin, but it's not like censorship has gone away. Social media and digital platforms now have all the power in the industry, and musicians still have to tiptoe around certain political views, or they might find themselves out of an algorithm that promotes their music, or even worse, straight banned from what could be their main revenue stream. Pop artists seem to be stirring up more satanic panic than metal recently. Sam Smith and Lil Nas X have been criticized by the conservative crowd for combining satanic vibes with an LGBTQ flair. Overall, censorship has become more complex and multifaceted since Tipper Gore caught her daughter listening to songs about magazine masturbation, but the importance of defending artistic freedom and freedom of expression remains just as crucial. A healthy exchange of ideas is essential in the growth of society, whether Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds is about an illegal drug or a child's painting. Just because you interpret someone's music one way doesn't give you the right to blacklist it. Regardless, if history has taught us anything, it's the people that put parental advisory stickers on Cannibal Corpse albums that look foolish in the end.
If you think the lyrics are uglier today, look around you. The world is uglier than it was in 1950. And I think that if you find lyrics objectionable in songs and you find that the material is harsh, and you can't take listening to it, maybe the better way to fix it is to fix your world, and then these guys who write songs won't keep reminding you of how ugly stuff really is.